So, that dreaded check engine light popped on, huh? If you're here, my guess is you've got a P0455 code staring back at you from the code reader. Well, today we're going to decode exactly what that means. Let's get right into it.
Okay, I know that light can be a little alarming, but don't panic. This particular code points to a very specific and, honestly, a usually very fixable issue. In the next few minutes, you're going to know exactly what your car is trying to tell you and how you can start to fix it.
So what does P0455 actually mean? Well, the official definition is Evaporative Emission System Large Leak Detected. In plain English, your car's computer ran a self-test on a system that's supposed to be totally sealed, and it found a pretty big leak.
Now, here's the good news, and this is really important. This is not a major engine problem. Your car is probably going to drive just fine. This is all about emissions. Now, it will cause you to fail an emissions test, and it's letting harmful gas fumes into the air. So while you don't need to pull over right this second, you definitely need to get it fixed.
To find that leak, we first have to understand the system we're dealing with. The easiest way to think about the EVAP system is like your car's own built-in recycling program, but for gasoline vapors. It's a really clever setup, but on modern cars, it's also super sensitive, which is why these codes are so common.
Everything kicks off right in your fuel tank. You know how gasoline evaporates? Well, that creates fuel vapor. Instead of just letting those fumes escape into the atmosphere, which is what old cars used to do, the EVAP system is designed to capture every bit.
So, these vapors get routed from the tank to something called a charcoal canister. And this thing is pretty cool. It acts just like a high-tech sponge. It's filled with activated charcoal that absorbs and holds on to those fuel vapors, keeping them safely stored away.
And then, when the time is right, usually when you're just driving down the road, the system purges those vapors out of the canister and sends them straight into the engine. There, they get burned up cleanly right along with the regular fuel. It's a fantastic closed-loop process.
Okay, there are two key players that make this whole process work: the purge valve and the vent valve. The purge valve is usually up near the engine and it's normally closed. Think of it as the gate that opens to let the vapors into the engine. The vent valve is back by the fuel tank and it's normally open. Its job is to close when the car wants to seal the system and run a pressure test. Remembering that one's normally closed and one's normally open is absolutely critical for finding the leak.
So if the computer runs that test and finds a leak, where could it be coming from? Let's walk through the usual suspects, and trust me, we're going to start with the easiest one first.
Before you even think about buying parts or crawling under your car, you have to check the one component you touch every single time you fill up your tank: the gas cap.
This is your first and most important stop. Seriously, go out to your car right now, take the gas cap off, and put it back on until you hear it click at least 3 or 4 times. That click tells you it's tight. While you're at it, look at the rubber seal on the cap. Is it cracked, worn out, or brittle? If it is, that's your leak. A new gas cap is usually under $20 and is by far the #1 fix for this code.
Now, if the gas cap is perfectly fine, the leak could be a cracked or disconnected hose. These plastic lines can get brittle over time. It could also be a faulty valve that's stuck open when it should be closed. Or it could even be a cracked charcoal canister, maybe from hitting a speed bump too hard. These fixes are a bit more involved, which is exactly why you always check the simple stuff first.
All right, let's say the gas cap is fine, but that light is still on. What's next? Here's a logical plan of attack, moving from the easy visual stuff to the tool that professionals use.
So here's our playbook. Step 1, the gas cap. We've already done that. Step 2 is to get your eyes on the system. Follow all the little EVAP hoses from the engine back toward the tank, looking for anything that's obviously cracked, broken, or disconnected. Step 3 involves testing the valves themselves to see if they're working. And if you still can't find anything, you move on to Step 4, the ultimate test.
So what's a smoke test? It sounds fancy, but the idea is actually really simple. A machine gently pumps a harmless, visible smoke, kind of like from a fog machine, into the EVAP system. Then you just look for where the smoke is coming out. Wherever you see a puff of smoke, well, that's your leak. It is the absolute best way to find those tiny hairline cracks that you'd never spot with a visual inspection.
Okay, once you've found the problem and fixed it, you need to clear the trouble code with a scanner. After that, just drive your car like you normally would. The EVAP system needs to run its own self-test again to confirm that the leak is actually gone. Here's a pro tip. For that test to run, your fuel tank usually has to be between 1/4 and 3/4 full. So there you have it. The P0455 code isn't such a mystery anymore, is it? From something as simple as a loose gas cap to a hidden crack found with a smoke machine, you now have the knowledge to understand what's going on. You're in the driver's seat. So, what car mystery should we solve next?